and today I'm going to be making a My Little Pony custom, and it's going to be my own original character. So let's take a look at my design. So here is my design idea. So this is my original character that I created called Lord Crumpleton. So first let's look at the bio. So I haven't thought of like a first name for this character yet, so for now he's just going to be called Lord Crumpleton. So Crumpleton is his second name. I haven't thought of a first name. I was thinking of giving him the name Malcolm because I love the name Malcolm so much, but I kind of want to save it and I think it'll suit another pony character that I want to create. So yeah, so for now he does not have a first name, but he has a second name, so there you go. So now let's read some of the backstory that I have written for this character. So it says Lord Crumpleton is a lord, obviously, who lives in an 18th century aristocrat palace directed in Wonderfall. So he lives in my fictional land of Wonderfall. He is related to Ms. Scotch, who is another original character that I've made. I did give a sneak peek in this other custom video called Kathy Lockworth, so check that video out to see a little sneak peek of what this Ms. Scotch character looks like. Who is his auntie and always pushes him to get married, the poor guy, as it is tradition, and she wants to keep the family tree going. So she's quite an old-fashioned character, but that's a whole other video on that character. However, Lord Crumpleton doesn't have the interest or desire to be married. God bless his heart. His personality traits are snob, very posh, picky, scared of wildlife, and he is a coward. Oh. His likes include eating oysters. I'm a bit like iffy about that because he's a pony and ponies don't eat meat, you know? But maybe that can be like a guilty pleasure, so I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the oyster thing. Yeah, maybe I could keep it as like a secret guilty pleasure, but I don't know if I'm going to keep that as one of his likes just because he's a pony, you know? Anyway, he likes to read history books, writing poems, likes to play chess, croquet, and playing a harpsichord. Yay! And by the way, harpsichords are my favourite instrument. His dislikes include lower classes, so he doesn't like ponies who are from the lower class, which kind of goes with his snobby and very posh nature. He doesn't like dirt, and he also hates the outdoors, so he likes to be clean. He's not a very adventurous pony, he just likes to be clean and indoors and stuff. And he's also scared of wildlife, remember? So it kind of matches why he doesn't like the outdoors, so there you go. I do think maybe I should put like his auntie in the dislikes because he doesn't really have a stable relationship with his auntie or auntie, whatever you want to call that word. So yeah, I might put Ms. Scotch in the dislikes. There we go. And here is the design idea of this character, Lord Crumpleton. So let's go through it. So they're wearing a white yarn wig, so I need to make a wig for this pony. I did originally think of like making this pony bald and just giving them wigs, but I kind of want to do a little bit of an experiment and not cut the hair. So I'm going to try and fit the wig over their hair sort of thing. I'll cut the hair short, but I kind of want to keep some hair under the wig as well because I just don't really, no, I kind of don't want them to be bald sort of thing. I want to do a little experiment, so yeah. They are a light yellow body colour for the base. They have a white collar, some little white sleeves there, and some little sleeve cuffs. They have some black pants, some high white socks, and little buckled shoes. Oh. And they have a little blue ribbon in the tail and their powdered wig, so yeah. This is the cutie mark idea that I came up with. It's literally just like a quill, like a feather, like a white feather. So it is kind of like sad and somewhat disappointing, I know, but I did think of like maybe having like a quill and a book, but I think that's just been done so many times. I know MLP Fever has that like cutie mark, and another old pony tuber has that cutie mark as well, and it's just been done like so many times, and it's just not really original anymore, or at all really anymore, because so many people have like a quill and a book as like a cutie mark, and I was like, oh, how can I make it different? I was like, just give them a feather, just give them a quill. It's a bit boring, but there it is. So this is overall the design idea of this character. I did think of like adding like a bit of like manuscript piece of music with the cutie mark, so it kind of looks like he's composing like a piece of music. But I would not be surprised if that has already been done. I don't think it has. But yeah, and he also looks a lot like Mozart. And that will just make him look so much like the Mozart vibes, like really high if I did that. I mean, I love Mozart, I listen to Mozart, I'm a fan of Mozart. Fun fact about Mozart, he was born on the 27th of January, the same birthday as Lewis Carroll. Same birthday, but different centuries. And it's just, I love Mozart, I love his music, it's good. It's good, it's really good. Maybe he can be like a high Mozart fan as well. I mean, he does play a harpsichord like Mozart, so there you go, there you go. So I will be using this Applejack figure as my base for this custom character. And I do label my ponies of the character that I'm going to make them into, so I'm just going to take that away since we do not need it anymore. First I'm going to go in with the nail polish remover that has to have 99% of acetone for this to work. And I'm going to be taking this cotton pad and I'm going to be dunking it into the acetone to remove both of the eyes and the cutie mark. Now I'm going to give this pony a little bath and I'm going to rinse it under the warm water. And use some shampoo and some conditioner to clean the hair and the body of the pony. Then I dunk it in the sink and I rinse it all off. So I'm doing this to get rid of the acetone that was on the pony because I don't know if over time the acetone is going to damage the plastic or anything. So after I rinsed it all off, I'm going to go back in with the conditioner on the mane and the tail. Give the pony a final rinse. And we're back, so the hair is still a bit damp, so now I'm going to attempt to cut and style the mane and the tail the way I want it for this character. I am going to be using this old toothbrush that I only use for pony and doll hair to brush out the mane and the tail to make it nice and smooth. As for this specific haircut, I'm going to be brushing out the pony's mane from the side like so the pony's hair is flat onto the table, so I'm going to brush it out to get it all nice and smooth. After I've done that, I'm going to take my hair cutting scissors and I'm going to cut the mane a bit longer than I actually want, just in case I do any mistakes by cutting the mane too short. After I cut all the mane, I'm going to brush it out again using the old toothbrush and flip it onto the other side as well. I tied the mane up in this white loom band to see if it's the right length that I want. So I think I'm going to go back and cut this again just a bit more shorter because I think this may be a bit too long. So I will cut it again off camera. So now it's time to do the same thing with the tail now by brushing it out with the old toothbrush and cutting it. Again, I cut the tail longer than I actually wanted just in case I cut it too short. I did use the loom band to help me out a bit to get the right length, and then I did some point cutting. Now I'm going to be using the hairdryer so I can soften up the head to make it all nice and squishy so I can remove it. So I can paint the head and the body separately. I'm going to be using this white acrylic paint to paint the head and the body of the pony. And while I'm painting the layers of the paint, I try to keep it as light as possible. As in, I try to keep the paint as a lighter layer as I possibly can, sort of thing. So I use all of the paint that's on my brush and I try to spread around the paint as much as I humanly possibly can before I dip into more paint and add another, splodge of paint onto the pony's head and onto the body. And I'm not using any water for this specific brand of white acrylic paint because I feel like this paint is like runny enough and everything, so I don't think it's necessary to have any water. So I think I'm going to be doing about 2 layers of this white acrylic paint. And this is what the pony looks like with just 1 layer of white acrylic paint. And this is what the pony looks like with 2 layers of white acrylic paint. Now I'm going to go in with this lemon yellow acrylic paint. I'm going to mix it in with the white paint that I used before so I can get a lighter yellow colour. Then I can start painting the head and the body like before. So after I have painted about 2 layers and waited for the paint to fully dry, I separated the mane down the middle into 2 sections using a loom band to hold it into place. I'm now just going to go directly in the centre of the head with my light yellow acrylic paint that I've made to fill it in. This is what it looked like when it was done and fully dry. So now that the pony's head and body is fully dry and coated with acrylic paint, I then drew out the outline of the eyes and the cutie mark using a pencil. Then I filled them both in using white acrylic paint, and that is pretty much it for the cutie mark. So the body is pretty much done now, so I'm going to put that to the side and concentrate on the pony's eyes. So I'm going to mix this ultramarine blue acrylic paint with the white acrylic paint to get a lighter eye colour, which ended up looking like this when I painted it on the pony. I then went in with some black acrylic paint for the pupils. Then I used the incorrect end of a paintbrush to blob into highlights in the eyes using the white acrylic paint. And as for the expression of the eyes, I kind of wanted them to have like serious but soft friendly eyes. And I just thought that this was like a perfect eye shape, like having like a soft rounded bit like near the bottom of the eye and at the side, and having like the top like kind of like a line for the seriousness, but he still has like the softness in the eyes as well, so it's like friendly and it's serious, so it's like perfect. So I do literally think about everything that goes into like the character and the custom. So anyway, I did paint like a line of black acrylic paint for the top bit of the eye, and now everything is done. Look, all the paint is done. So there's one final thing that I have to do, which is to go in with the matte Mod Podge. So I can seal everything in, and I always use matte Mod Podge so the surface of the pony does not look shiny. And I do try and do like a light layer of this matte Mod Podge, and I go over it with the head and the body completely, then I leave it to the side to dry. So this is what they look like when the paint is all sealed in with the Mod Podge and it's all fully dry. By using the hairdryer again to soften up the head a bit, so I can gently ease it back on to the body. So now this is what he looks like when the head is back onto the body, and yes, the head is still movable. Now all I need to do is give him some clothes and then he will be complete. So now let's look at the finished result. So here is the final result of Lord Crumpleton. Da, 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 yeah. So here he is in all of his glory and he looks amazing. So this is the little outfit that I put together. It is a bit like scrabby and scroppy and I don't know if them are real words, but it's a bit like not well made, to be honest. Like this, I don't really make pony shirts and stuff, and I haven't had many practice on making like pony shirts. I did make one for my Alice Little custom, like one that has sleeves and stuff. It's just a bit harder. So for this, I kind of like painted the collar yeah, with like white acrylic paint. I didn't put like a little design. I wanted to put like a little like design on the collar, but it's so tiny and I don't think I have that skill right now. I did put like this, I don't know what this is, but in the 1700s they had like this weird frilly thing, so I kind of like put that on the shirt as well. I did not put like a lace around the sleeves because it's so tiny, and I think I need some more practice, to be honest, and everything. I wish I used like a blue thread instead of white so it can be looking less noticeable, so it'll look less noticeable and stuff. For the trousers, this is my first ever attempt of making trousers for a pony. It is pretty difficult, pretty technical, pretty hard, and very fiddly and everything, so yeah, so this is kind of like a first draft of an outfit in a way. This is like my first trouser draft and pretty much one of my first ever shirt drafts, I guess, if we're not including the Alice Little custom that I did in 2018. So for the socks, first I did paint them on, but they crumbled off, so I tried to wash them out and then I kind of sewed 2 pieces of white material around, sort of thing. So them are the socks, and it's kind of meant to be like an illusion, like these, the black things, like the black parts is meant to be like the shoes. So this is meant to be a shoe, sock, trousers, you know what I mean. So for the wig, this is the little wig that I created. It is meant to be the white powdered wig. I'm trying to like cover up the hairline as much as possible, but this specific Applejack figure has quite a fronted in hairline, like the hairline kind of comes forward a bit. So it's a bit harder to hide, coincidentally, just because this figure's hairline is so far on the face, sort of thing. So I'm trying to like puff out the hair a bit to kind of hide it. I mean, it's not really noticeable really since the hair's light anyway. So yeah, this is the 1700s inspired wig, I guess, that I came up with, or the 1700s wig I came up with the pony. I gave him a blue little bow and a blue little bow in the tail as well. The tail is rooted in, of course, as well as the actual hair. So if we take the wig off, I put the hair in this like little bun thing, try and hide it a bit better. So yes, they have rooted in hair, and I'm so happy that they can like not wear the wig, so that they don't have to be like reliant on wigs all the time, so they can just like wear the hair down and they don't have to wear wigs all the time so they don't look bald. I did use this black loom band, by the way, to kind of keep the pieces together, so these two are like separate pieces. So this is like a legit pair of trousers and this is like a legit shirt sort of thing. It doesn't like cover the back, that's what the trousers do. So the trousers covers the back but the shirt doesn't, sort of thing. So yeah, this is what they look like. They are a beautiful light yellow colour. I love the colour yellow. I'm a sucker for the colour yellow. And I'm sorry if I make like a lot of yellow pony customs in the future. It's just mainly due to the fact that I love the colour yellow and it's my favourite colour. Oh, they look so much like Mozart. And yes, the head is movable on this custom as we saw earlier on in the video. And I'm just so happy on how they have turned out. I cannot wait to make more like wigs like this. This wig is like the first like 1700s wig, like white powdered wig that's like short hair, not like the big voluminous big ball of if that makes sense. I'll get an example. So it's not a wig like this, so this is what I mean. These are like the big wigs. So this is like a short haired small wig, and this is like the 1700s big wig, fit for a unicorn. As you can see, there's the horn hole there. This is the first ever wig that I made for like a pony that has like a wig cap and stuff. So I'm just gonna slot it on this unicorn. This wig is actually does belong to this unicorn. They are a rarity right now, but I am planning to make them into like a legit like pony character. I'm going to change the eye colour and give them a new cutie mark, etc. I am going to keep them as a white pony, but there you go. So this is what the big wigs look like, and this is like the short haired small ones. This is more of like a blonde colour and the feathers falling out. So yeah, this is my favourite wig. It's like my pride and joy. It's like my favourite wig that I've ever made because it's so beautiful, so well done. And this is the first ever attempt of me making a wig for like a pony that has like a legit wig cap and everything. So yeah, I'm so happy. I need to put this feather back. I need to like glue it back in or just slot it in the hair somehow. So yeah, that's the wigs. I love like the 1700s and like the Baroque style so much because it's so elegant and classy, and like Mozart was alive and I love Mozart, and I love 18th century fashion down to a T. I love the fashion. It's so like amazing and glorious. Like look at this. Wow, this is like magnificent. Like the hair was so beautiful, like the wigs were so beautiful and magnificent, and I love the wigs and stuff. Yeah, like the bun on this kind of does lift this up a bit, but you can't really notice from afar and stuff. And again, this pony has light hair, so it kind of blends in with like the skin coat, well, the coat colour a bit, I guess. So I am really happy on how they've turned out. All I need to do really to improve this is to give them some new clothes maybe, and maybe a new wig as well. Maybe. So I think that is about it for this video, so be free to leave a cheeky little like and a friendly little comment, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and thanks for watching, and bye!